I mean, I'll see the green light. Hello everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back to my live. Today is May the 11th, 2022, and I am really excited to be here today. We've got, I think I might have been a little over the top here with, or a little extra ambitious, I guess you could say. I'm trying 3 cards today, so it should be a fun live. We have a giveaway. And also the 3 cards that I make today, we'll do a drawing for those as well. And I think we're just going to have a really fun time. I hope so anyway. Hey Randy, hey Jennifer. Jennifer Real is in the house. Randy is in the house. And I should see one of my moderators, Jennifer Toller, should pop in momentarily. And so excited to see everybody. I hope y'all are ready to start crafting, and I got an announcement to make and a couple of announcements, and I'm just really excited to be here today. I hope y'all are. Randy, I'm sorry, I got a throat lozenge in my mouth because I have been very scratchy today, but I hope, there's Jennifer. I'd like to thank Jennifer and Alicia and Donna. All 3 of those are my moderators, and if you see their names in blue with a little wrench beside of it, they are actually moderating for me, and they will help you with any questions or anything. If y'all have questions that need my attention, if you will hold your questions until the end of the broadcast or the end of the crafting session, I will do my best then to open it up for questions, and y'all can ask me directly the questions, and I'll see if I can get answers to you. I hope that will help, and it will also help everybody in as far as me not stopping in the middle of the project. So I hope that will help. Randy, in answer to your question, it just said that insufficient address, but it had your full address on the envelope, so I don't know what happened, but it went to Dover. I don't know why. I definitely had your address correct, but some mix up in the mail, I assume. But anyway, I'm really not sure what happened, but that seems to be what they were saying. They sent it to Dover and then returned it to me. For whatever reason, the mail service I have found, I even had a shipment that came in from another, not a Stamping Up, but from another company, and I could not get tracking on it until the day it was delivered. Just really, really weird. So our United States Postal Service is not the postal service that we are used to. Yes, thank you, Randy. If y'all would definitely like and share, that really does help my channel to grow. And after the video is over, if you will go back in and make a comment, because the comments that y'all make here do not show up in the video. So once the video is posted, and hey Marlene, how are you? Good to see y'all. I'm not going to jibber jabber too much. Let me switch y'all over to my craft table. There we go. I'm going to get rid of my throat lozenge and take a sip of drink before I get started. If I get scratchy in the middle of this broadcast, just give me a second to get a sip of drink, and then we should be able to go on. Okay, what I want to do first is I want to let y'all know that I do have a project sheet. I will post this in the files on the Facebook group, and you can go there and print this out. It'll be in a PDF format, and it will look like this. So it will have all the information that you will see under the video, but it will be in a PDF format so that you will have the measurements for each one of the cards, all of the things that we use. If you come down, the first part of it will be all of the items that we use with the order numbers beside of it. And then underneath that will be measurements for card. You'll have card 1, card 2, and card 3. So hopefully that will help everybody. It's always nice to be able to print out a PDF. All right, I'm going to slide that up under here. My moderators have this, so they should be able to go along. Also, if you place an order with me, any order will receive a free gift. So if you spend over $149.99, if your order's 100 and okay, the post office. Oh, I don't know what that means, Randy. I just know that that's what they said. Anyway, it was returned to me. I did get it back, and I don't know what happened, but hopefully that won't happen again. But anyway, if you will use my host code, if your order's under $150, if it's over $150, I want you to get the stamp and rewards. So do not use that host code. You will still get you will still receive a gift from me, but Stampin' Up! Will also reward you for spending that amount of money. So what I want to do today, we're going to turn in our catalog. So if you have a catalog and you want to flip over with me, we are going to do, let me find my, I think it's on page 37. Yeah, Butterfly Kisses. Y'all know that I love myself some butterflies, so I had to play with this one. Now, I haven't really had a chance to stamp and do all of the stamping with them, but let me show you what I have planned here. Now, you can buy this as a suite or a collection, and the collection includes everything: the stamps, the dies, the paper, and these beautiful little resin flowers. And I have everything here because here is your designer series paper. It's a 6x6 paper pack. Here is your stamp set and your dies. And your dies are more than just what you see here. Let me pull those out and show you. It is actually, and I did put them on magnetic sheets, it's actually 2 little sheets here of dies, and they look like that. Really, really cute, and I'm going to play with this. Today we're going to use these 2 butterflies here. I wanted to do something that was kind of quick since I am doing 3 cards, but we will come back and revisit this, and we will stamp and do some die cutting with those later. I have a tuxedo black ink. Here is my little sample card. So we're going to make something very similar to this, but it's going to be a little bit different. Our butterflies are going to be the same. Our designer series paper is going to be a little different. Our butterflies, we're going to do them out of this beautiful Glimmer paper, and that is this pack right here. And I chose the Starry Sky piece, and this is just so pretty. And I got glue or something on this piece, but I figured for die cutting I can cut around that, so that's what we're going to use that piece. But here is that beautiful paper and all of the, look at that Tahitian tide. Isn't that gorgeous? There is the Orchid Oasis, and no, let's see. There's the Parakeet Party, the Sweet Sorbet. Yeah, this is the Orchid Oasis. That's what I'm using. And this is the Starry Sky. The Starry Sky is just, no, maybe I am using the Starry Sky. It's hard to differentiate. Yeah, there's the Starry Sky, and this is the Orchid Oasis. Maybe I want to do Orchid Oasis. No, I'm going to stick with what I said. I'm going to use the Starry Sky. No more changing my mind, y'all. Let's see if we can get started on this. I'm going to put the stamp set up there because we're going to wait and use that last. There's the little resin dots that come with it, and I'm going to lay those up there. The prize that I'm going to give away today is going to be this beautiful pack of Simply Marvelous. And this was a celebration item, and it is just a very stunning pack of paper. Let me show you my pack that's opened. You have grays and blues and purples and yellow and pink. Very, very pretty pack of paper. I didn't want to open this one. Also, the prize package is going to include a roll of this rose gold ribbon. Very, very pretty. So that's our prize package, and that drawing will take place at the end of the broadcast. So hang around. You need to be present in order to win. We're also going to give away the cards, all 3 of the cards that we make. So I'm going to lay this over because I want to pull my catalog back over when we do our next project. But I wanted to kind of clear my desk here to make room for what I need. I'm going to move my basket down here that has my other 2 projects in it. Trying to be organized, y'all. We are going to need our paper trimmer because for the first card, and I'm going to look at my measurements because doing 3 cards I may forget which card was which. Okay, for card 1 we have a card base of Night of Navy. This is going to be a portrait card like that, and I have a piece of that beautiful Parakeet Party that we're going to use for the mat. And I need to cut this down because it's a regular size piece. It's a 1/4 of a sheet. I need to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to line it up at 4. And then we're going to turn it and cut it at 5 1/4. So you can see I'm just taking a 1/4 inch off the side and the top or bottom. And then that's going to pair on here like so. I'm going to turn that over so we can see it just a little bit better. And now we need to cut a piece of this. And I chose this piece of that Butterfly Kisses Designer Series paper. Now this paper is absolutely gorgeous. Look at all these different designs that you get. I mean, it is absolutely just stunning paper. And I think this piece, now I'm using that on a different card. There's so many pretty pieces to choose from. It's really hard to pick one. So, but I did choose this one because I wanted it to coordinate with that navy blue, or that Night of Navy, and that beautiful bright green. I think those colors are gorgeous together. And we need to cut this at 2 inches. We're just going to cut a strip off, and it's going to go in landscape mode. So I want to make sure that my butterflies are flying in the right direction, because y'all know if you cut it wrong, then you are wasting paper. So we don't want to waste paper. So there's our 2 inches, and we need to cut that at 5. And you asked me why 5, because that's the length of our mat. Or did we do that at 5 1/4? Let me check. 5 1/4. Okay, I need to change that. Jennifer, there needs to be a change on that piece. It should be 5 1/4. I'm going to make that change on mine right now so I can remember to go back and do that. This is where I need a red ink pen. And I don't have one, but I'll tell you what, we're going to do it like this. I'm going to put myself a star beside that. And you know what? Oh yeah, right here. I did write it wrong. 5 1/4. I was thinking I was doing it as a mat, but I want that to come all the way down on that piece. So 2 by 5 1/4. And then this is going to layer on here just like that. And then all of that is going to layer on here. And we're going to cut our butterflies. And I'm going to use that beautiful Glimmer paper. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a piece off of that darker blue. And that way I can say, you know what, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to do it this way. Yeah, let's cut a piece off this way. I am going to look at my widest butterfly, and I'm just going to lay it onto my trimmer. And just making sure that I'm past that track. That looks to be about 2.5 inches. And I'm going to cut that down. That way I can get a variation of my butterflies. I think I want the big one to be darker and the smaller one to go up into that ombre just a tiny bit. So let's go ahead and pull over our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to try to turn it this way. Let me zoom y'all out just a hair. And Jennifer, if you will remind me to zoom back in. I am really bad when I'm doing recorded videos. I will zoom in or zoom out and then totally forget to zoom back, and then it's out of frame and y'all get upset with me, and I understand that, because nothing makes me any more upset than for y'all not to be able to see what I'm doing. Alright, I've got my magnetic mat on here, and I love this magnetic mat. It works so good. Once we got the sandwich right, I think y'all remember, if you caught my live last week, Stampin' Up had kind of done a little bit of a boo-boo on the sandwich for this magnetic plate that they just came out with in the new catalog. And the one for the mini is coming, I understand, by the end of the month. So if you have the mini machine and you want that mat, sorry for the shaking, y'all. It is what it is. I'm pushing Glimmer paper through these rollers, so it does cause a little bit of a shake. And we're going to pop those off. Let me move that out of my way and get this over so you can see. Now, Glimmer paper does cut a little different than cardstock, so we are definitely going to need our Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to leave my machine and my plates right there because we will go back to those again. Now I'm going to go ahead and just poke my holes a little bit, just enough to get this to release. Hey Vivian, good to see you. Jennifer, if you can let me know as new people come in, and if you can also, everybody, if you want to be in the drawing for the prize, I need everyone to hang around to the end, and you will need to let Jennifer know after the video is over if you want to be in the drawing, and if you do, then she'll make sure that she gives me your name. Otherwise, you will not be in the drawing, so make sure that you do that, because so many times we have people that opt out. I have other demonstrators that come in and watch my videos, and sometimes they don't want the prize package because they already have it. And I'm the same way. If I go and watch someone's video and they give away a drawing, if it's something I have, I say no, you know, let someone else get that. No one needs, you know, we don't want to be greedy over this, and I'd a whole lot rather somebody that doesn't have the paper to get it and the ribbon than, you know, someone that does. But everybody is eligible to win, so even if you are a demonstrator, if you're one of my girls and you don't have it, or you just need another pack of it, by all means be in the drawing. So I love giving away freebies. That's such a good, and that's the reason I offer the free gift for any size order, because I earn off of those small orders. I earn some Stampin' rewards from y'all small orders. You don't get them, but using that host code, it allows me to get them, and then I can offer y'all better gifts for placing orders, and that makes me so happy. I love, love, love to give away freebies. So there we go. That's how I earned the brushes that I gave away here a few weeks back. I gave away the blending brushes, and I earned those that way. And a lot of times I'll get packs of gems or Stampin' Dimensionals, things like that, that just makes me, let me get my little brush. There's a tool that goes with your Stampin' Pierce, and it comes like this, and I keep it in a paper pumpkin box because that works for me. I'm going to go ahead and rake this into my paper pumpkin box because it's easy just to dump that when I'm done. And I'm just going to lay this butterfly on here, and I'm going to use, I have another Take Your Pick, and I use this one for my die cuts. And I can come in and use that brush and brush those out a lot faster. And I can also poke them on that foam that comes with it. You get this foam and the brush. And Jennifer, I did not put that in the description because I wasn't even thinking about using it. But Glimmer paper doesn't cut out as good. Anytime you're going to use any Glimmer paper, just know you're going to have to pick your dies a little bit. it is just the nature of the beast. So, and I'm not sure what page in the catalog that's on, but you can make a notation and I'll put the brush in there at the end. So it will be in the final description. Okay, I think we got just about all of those out. That looks good. So now let's bring over our other little piece, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to poke it till I can get all of my pieces to come loose. Hey Marcia, good to see you, sweetie. I'm so glad you made it. So here we go. I think we just about got this butterfly where it will release from the die. Almost. Oops. Sometimes I'll just drop them really hard, kind of slam them down on my desk, and they will pop out. But again, I'm forewarning you, if you're using glimmer paper, it's just a little bit different beast of paper. And so there we go. I'm going to use my roller. I'm just going to roll this really good. Okay, Jennifer, this right here is under the Take Your Pick tool, and there's the little piece that you can buy to go on it. It just screws into your Take Your Pick, and it comes with the brush and these two foam pieces, which I keep mine in this paper pumpkin box because it just makes it easy for me to keep my mess kind of contained in one area. And then I can just take these out, dump my box into my trash can, and just keep everything. Jennifer was asking me so she could put that in case anybody's interested. This is a great tool, and you don't need to Take Your Pick tools. I mean, you can. I do it because I demonstrate, and I have two. I keep one in this box, and I keep one in my, this one stays over here in my little caddy. Actually, it's a coffee cup that I use, that I keep a lot of my tools that I call my right hand tools. And but I keep this one with the brush on it and the pick just for my dies. And normally I don't have to pick, but this is glimmer paper, and like I said, you're going to have that issue with glimmer paper. And as you can see, then I just pop this all back in my little box, and I will sit it to the side, and I'll have that to clean it up a little bit later. And it really does cut down on the amount of debris that you get on your desk. All right, let's bring our card back over. I think we're ready to put this together. I think I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. And the first thing I want to do, y'all know that I like to build my base first and then put everything onto my card base. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on here. And then I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to, yeah, that's going the right way. I want to make sure that my paper is going in the right direction. We would not want to glue this on upside down. Just like that. Now my butterflies, I want to pop these bad boys up, so I'm going to get some mini dimensionals. And this is where your Take Your Pick tool comes in really handy, because you can lift them up, because these things are tiny. You can lift them up and then just sit them exactly where you want them. Somebody's cutting grass, I think, across the street, so I hope that's not coming through on the video. My house is pretty soundproof to a degree, but if my husband was cutting grass, I would definitely hear it when he goes by the window. Now see, that's showing just a little bit, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my snips. Let's see if this one's showing. Yep, that one's showing too. So I'm going to take my snips, and I'm going to pull that back just a hair and snip. I'll tell you what, let's take it completely off and snip it in half. And sometimes you'll need to do that. Even with these small ones, you'll need to cut them in half. I've heard some of the demonstrators say before the minis came out, they were cutting their full-size ones all in little pieces to make this work. And I can see that. But now we have these little ones, and they make it... Oh, Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer just reminded me to zoom back in. So, see, I would forget. If I didn't have somebody to remind me, I would totally forget. Because I get so busy in wanting to, you know, do the project that I forget about some of the details, and that's really not good. Let's see if we need... I think I'm going to take this one off since it's showing and put that little one right there. I'm going to stick that one back down because we can use it. Okay, and I'm going to bend my wings up just a little bit like that. Hey Carmina, welcome in, sweetie. So glad you're here. I'm always so glad when I have my regular people to show up. Alright, so we're going to take this butterfly, and I want him to be flying maybe in this direction. Right about there. And I didn't leave as wide of a space here for a sentiment. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to find a different sentiment. I don't know. Why don't we just say hey? That will work. We're just going to put a hey on the front of this one because I wanted this card to be different than my other one. And I think I'm going to do that. I was going to do it with I'm going to do it with Memento. I want it to kind of pop. So let's see if we can get that nice and straight there. And this is a tiny little stamp, so we're just going to pick it up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my trick. Let me get, find my pencil. If your stamps stick to everything, you can always use a pencil eraser to get them, to move them around. And we're going to put that on, and let's go ahead and stamp before we put our other butterfly on. I was getting ahead of myself, y'all. Yeah, I have not stamped this stamp, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab a little scrap of cardstock. Just a little piece like this, and I'm going to give it a stamp. Not bad, and I didn't even use a Stampin' Pierce mat, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. Again, Jen, this is not on my list because I wasn't thinking. Y'all know I do that real often. I don't think. I just get so ahead of myself because I just want to craft and I want to put a project together. So we're going to put that right there. Very good. And I got to get my little chamois over here so I can clean that stamp off. And now we can go ahead and put some dimensionals on out. Ah! I just made a mess on my card. Well, that's a good thing that's not the one I'm giving away. I used buttons on this one. Look what I just did. I turned that ink pad over upside down on that card. See where I did? I messed it up. But you know what? I might still be able to salvage this card, but I put buttons on this. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have buttons, but I just happen to have some buttons in my stash, and I just thought these butterflies were so whimsy that they called for some buttons. But this one that I'm making right now, I am going to put, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use those little resin dots that, or the little resin flowers that came with the bundle. Or not the bundle, but the collection. Because I think they're cute. Alright, let's get that little piece right there. And this other little one right here. And let's see if I can pop those off using my ooh, I took the whole thing off. That's not what we wanted to do. Okay, let's put that trash over there. Let's try that again. These little pieces of adhesive are so tiny. So I'm just going to pull that off like that. Put it over there in my little trash pile. That, you know what, that doesn't feel as sticky as I would like it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come in with just a tiny bit of glue. And I'm going to dab just a bit of glue on that. I want this one to be flying in this direction. And again, I want to pop his wings up just a bit. Okay, that's going to take a minute to set because I put the glue on it. But then what we can do is just put this whole thing right here on our card base. Look how pretty that is. Just a simple little card that didn't take that long to make. Other than cleaning out the pieces in the Glimmer paper, if we had cut this in regular paper, regular cardstock, this card would have been maybe a 10-minute card. Marcia, the prize drawing for today is for a roll of ribbon. This is a rose gold ribbon and a Simply Marvelous pack of paper. And I'm pretty sure you saw this because, I mean the paper is actually a celebration item. And I did show mine. I don't think you need to see it because I think you know this. So if you do, just let Jennifer know and I'll show it again. But I have a pack of it over here that is open. That was my pack. And these are the colors. Beautiful, beautiful. They're very bold on one side and sort of subdued on the other. I love these papers. And I've got a card that I want to show y'all that I will be bringing to my channel. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, that's what made me pull that pack of paper. I want to show you this card. It is simply gorgeous. It is a fun fold card. I used, hey Margie, this card right here, I used the New Horizons paper and some of the die sets on it and the stamps from that New Horizon bundle that's in the mini catalog. And when you open this card, it is a 3D, let me zoom y'all out just a hair, so oops, wrong way. I want you to get the full effect of this card. When you, it is an easel card with a pop-up. So when you do this, this is what this card looks like. And then when you open it this way, it has a sentiment here and a place to sign it right here. Who? Hey Tina, how are you? Good to see you. Jennifer is keeping me abreast of everybody that comes in. So what do y'all think about this card? I know it looks intimidating, but it really, really isn't. So this will be coming on our channel really soon, so be on the lookout. And I'm going to do it totally different than this one. I'm going to do a beautiful thing with some flowers, maybe that Hues of Happiness paper. That's kind of what I've got in mind. So I thought I fell in love with this card. I thought it was so pretty. I love a card that has a pop-up. Now this, I should have reinforced it with some heavier cardstock, but I didn't. But this is a prototype. When I make a card like this, the first one I make is a prototype, and then when I go back and redo it, I try to correct all the things that went wrong with that one, if that makes any sense. All right, so we have this card is done. All we have to do is put a piece of white inside for our for popping our sentiments. Let me get some of these beautiful little dots or resin flowers. They're called fun flowers, resin shapes. Look at the beautiful colors. I mean, these are simply gorgeous, and I think these are supposed to be, let's see if it doesn't tell the colors on here, but I'm seeing the starry sky. I'm seeing some fresh freesia. This is definitely Parakeet Party. I would say these are the sweet sorbet. These look like the oh, what was that other in color? Fresh freesia. Yeah. But anyway, I love those. I think they're pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, take your pick tool, and I want something that's going to really kind of pop on here. So I think I'm going to go in for the navy or that blue. And we're going to put one right there. And I want a smaller one. Maybe right there in that corner. And then maybe another large one right about here. And it's amazing. I mean, you can do just a tiny little something like that with your embellishments, and it can make the world of difference. Now, had I thought further with this, I would have embossed this with a pretty embossing folder. Some flowers or something back there would have been really pretty. So many different things that you can do with that. Okay, that's card number 1. So I am going to just drop my dies back in. I'm going to move some of this stuff off of my desk. So I say off of my desk and I have nowhere to put it. Can y'all relate? When you are stamping and when you are cutting dies out and stuff, it's so easy for you to run out of space. I do all the time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this and this over here. And now I'm going to bring in my next project, which is Cup of Tea, my Starry Sky ink pad. I've got a piece of the paper from the Butterfly Kisses, but look at this. Look how that just looks like it could go with the cup of tea. See what I mean? And Stampin' Up! Is so good about doing crossovers with their paper. Here's my sample card. And I tore some paper on this one and did some stamping on the white. And of course we have a piece of white inside to put our sentiment on or whatever. And I did some thank yous here on some circles. We might change that up a little bit. Let's see what we're going to do today. All right, I am going to look at my instructions for this one, because I want to see if I have anything that's off, because we don't want to be off. I am going to take out this little sprig, or do I want to do different? I think I might do that one. I think that will blend really well with this paper. Yeah, let's do some stamping. I'm going to grab a piece of, I thought I had some grid paper, but you know what will work? Let's see if I can get a piece of copy paper out of my printer. A good piece of copy paper will work. I only need one. You know, I'm so used to dealing with cardstock, it's hard to pick up one piece of copy paper because, you know, it's so thin. Alright, so what I want to do with this is I want to stamp. I'm not too sure. I don't want to go with that other one. I'm going to stick to my plan. Y'all know when I go rogue and I go off of the plan. Oh, speaking of rogue, what I wanted to let y'all know is next week I want y'all to stamp with me. So I am going to put out a I'm going to put out something on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and it's going to be a list of things that you can get together. I'm going to tell you you're going to need a piece of cardstock, color of your choice, or I might even say white, and then I might say colored cardstock, and I might tell you that it needs to be 11 by 4.5. I might tell you that it needs to be scored at here and here, or it might need to be scored in one place, 2 or 3 places. And what you're going to do, it's going to be like a mystery stamping. If any of you have watched Sharon Armstrong, she does mystery stamping all the time. And I want y'all to create with me. So I will do my card ahead of time, and then I will give y'all the clues. The first clue will be what you find in the Facebook group. For any of you that aren't on Facebook, that are not on the Facebook group, I will put it in the community tab under this video. And then what you can do is come and take a look there. Oh, you know what? I think I inked that way too much. Let's, maybe not. See how juicy my ink pad is? Look at that. See how that ink kind of went down into the edges of that? You don't want that. That will cause you to have a gobby mess on your card. And we don't like gobby messes on our card. So I'm going to go back in. Let me just dab that off a little bit to make sure there's no water on it. And look, I got purple fingers, bluish purple fingers. So I'm going to go very light. And then we're just going to stamp right in the middle. Hey Susan, how are you? Good to have you. So glad you could make it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stamp very gently, and I'm going to come over this way, and I'm going up. So we're at the edge of that, and I'm shaky this morning for some reason. I'm going to stamp right there, and then again here. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp and stamp off. And then I want to stamp right here. And then we're going to stamp and stamp and stamp. That gives us a nice little thing of greenery right there. Now if you want to jazz it up a little bit more, you could come in and do like this little flower. And I think I'll do that, but you know what I'm going to do with it? I am going to stamp it off, and then stamp it. See, very, very faintly. Stamp it off, and then stamp it. Just to have a little bit of flowers in there, I think that would just add so much to it. So let's stamp it. Stamp it off, stamp it. And then I think I'm going to do one more. This one I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to just stamp it off once. Stamp it off once. Just like that. I think I need one more. Maybe one more. I like that. I think it's cute. It kind of gives an idea of some flowers going along there. So we got that on there. So I'm going to clean that stamp, and I'm going to wipe this one off as well. And now what we want to do is take that piece of paper, and I want it to come over just past where those stems are coming in. So we can easily turn it over, or we can measure. Measuring is always good. So I'm just going to grab my ruler, and I'm going to measure from the shortest stem, which would probably be right there, out. Wrong way. Wait a minute. Let me turn my card this way. From right here, so it looks like about 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut this off at 2 1/4. Is that what I had on my... I did. I said 2 1/4 torn. We can tear this. Who is in favor of tearing, and who wants to just cut it? I did tear this one. See how that one's torn? So y'all let me know. Jennifer's going to let me know as the votes start coming in. Torn or cut. Just make your vote now. I'm going to go ahead and measure while y'all are voting amongst yourselves. I'm going to come over to here and make myself a little mark, because either way I'm going to need a mark. I won't need a mark if I cut it. So all right, we're 2 to 3 on. All right, we got 3 for tearing and 2 for cut. So keep those comments coming. Jennifer's keeping count for me. So once everybody has kind of tuned in and did their vote, then we'll go ahead and decide if we're going to cut or tear. I think torn's got it so far. Hey Karen, it's good to see you. Jennifer, just let me know you're in. Okay, so we're going to tear. So what I'm going to do is on that 2 1/4 inch mark, I'm just going to go back and forth all the way down this piece of paper. And there's really no right or wrong way to tear paper. It does work and give you a better edge if you just kind of work it with your thumbs as you go. Something like this. And then after you get it torn, then you can lay it onto your piece and it's going to look like that. I love that. I think it's very pretty. So we're going to cut our length off. I'm not going to tear it on the top and the bottom. So we're going to cut this side off. And we know that this piece is 5 1/4. So we're going to cut this to 5 1/4. So I'm going to put that in. Let's do it this way. 5 1/4. And I'm going to bring my blade up because I don't want to cut against that torn edge. It might ripple my paper. So there we go. We got our piece cut. And now we can go ahead and adhere this down. So let me move my little... Oh, and Bella's over there snoring as usual. She's always snoring whenever I'm crafting. I think the tone of my voice puts her to sleep. Either that or I'm just that boring. I'm not sure which it is. Oh goodness. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying about the mystery, I want y'all to craft with me next Wednesday. So, like I said, I will post maybe Sunday, Saturday, or Monday. I'll tell you what, I'll post Monday what I'm going to do for that, you know what would be pretty on there? Nah, that would take away from the torn edge. We're going to leave that just like it is. And we are going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on the back of this. And we're going to glue this onto our card base. Just like that. And now we need to come up with our colors for our sentiment. I'm going to stick with that Starry Sky for this one. But I am going to grab some Calypso Coral for our circles. So I'm going to grab a scrap of, you know what I might do? I think I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use a punch. We have this brand new punch called Lasting Label, and I think that would be so pretty on this piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch me out a piece. You know what else? I'm going to do something different. Here I go, changing things in midstream. Lovely and Lasting is this stamp set here, and it has this beautiful little piece. Jennifer, I did not put this one in, so remind me to add this in, because y'all know I am flying by the seat of my pants here. I'm going to take this little stamp and I am going to stamp it on this Calypso Coral. And guess what color we're going to stamp it in? The Starry Sky. So let me grab a piece, or a block, I should say, and be careful not to put my whole hand into that ink. Y'all know I've done that a time or two. I'm going to bring this over because I want to do a little sample. Oh, beautiful. Stamping Up inks and Stamping Up stamps stamp like no others. I'm telling you, the quality is outstanding. And this is photopolymer, and I didn't even put my Stampin' Pierce mat under it. And look at that. It is gorgeous. And I love that Starry Sky on that Calypso Coral. Isn't that pretty? You know what? That's not Calypso Coral. That's Flirty Flamingo. Hang on, we'll get there. Calypso Coral is up here. It's pretty on that too, though, isn't it? All right. Yes, there's a big difference in Flirty Flamingo and Calypso Coral. Did somebody catch that? I hope somebody else caught that. If you are a Stampin' Up! Person, I'm sure you probably did. Oh my word. That's okay. Hey, we're having fun, right? That's all that matters, as long as we are having fun. So we're going to get that stamped down. I'm going to save that because I will definitely use it. Y'all know I will use that. So we can use that on another project that's using some Flirty Flamingo. Alright, now let's get that punch. And look how pretty this is going to punch out. And what I love about the Stampin' Up! Punches, you can hold them and move them around and then lock it just by putting a little pressure against it. Maybe they're all like that, I don't know. But I just love the Stampin' Up! They punch so well. But then I love everything Stampin' Up! That's why I'm a demonstrator, is because I love the product. I love the company because they have good morals and they stand behind their product. You buy something you don't like from Stampin' Up!, they will make it good, replace it, or refund you. They are just, that's just the kind of company they are. Alright, I think we got the right color now. So let's decide what we want, how we want to make this card. I think I'm going to go, since I made the other one a thank you card, how about if we do a thinking of you? That's not it. That's thank you. This is thinking of you. And the good thing about these sentiments from this stamp set actually pairs. It bundles with this punch. So, but this punch is good punch to have as a standalone punch, because you can see, even without using the stamp set with it, it's a beautiful punch. But putting that little bit of dotting around it just kind of brings it to the next level. Alright, let me do my little clean thing on that one. I like to get my, you can stamp with your stamps on both sides, but I like to pull mine off because I like to be able to see all the way through my stamp. And my Starry Sky is right here. And we're going to put this in right about here. Very pretty. Y'all notice how fast I close up an ink pad? I do that for two reasons. One is I don't want my ink pads to dry out. Two is I don't want to put my hand in it and make a mess all over everything. So now I need to decide what else I want to put on here. And I am thinking that I'm looking at my ribbon, y'all. Just trying to decide if I want to put a piece of ribbon on there. And the frayed ribbon, I think that's still in the catalog. Jennifer, I did not put this in there either because I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about doing the 3 circles, but this paper was busier than what I anticipated it. So we're going to put a little piece of ribbon up underneath there just to kind of break it a little bit. So I am going to grab my fabric scissors. I'm going to cut this off like that. And what I want to do is I just want to put a piece of ribbon that's going to cross over something like that. That makes the world of difference on that card, don't you think? That little piece of ribbon kind of breaks it up a little bit, and I think that works beautifully. Now I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to put some right across there like that. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to lay it into that Stampin' Seal. I'm going to lift up this side and do Stampin' Seal there and just cross it over. Very easy way to put your ribbon on. And I want to pop this up. So I'm going to put dimensionals on both ends, and I'm going to use my full size ones because that's what I think it calls for. So let's put one here, and one right here. Let's lay that down and see what it, yeah, I think that's good. I don't think we need them anywhere else. Maybe a little glue right there. We'll put a little glue in the middle because it probably will touch that ribbon and help hold it. So now we'll just set that down right there. Alright, same concept, just by changing up a few things. Here is the difference in the cards. Totally different looking cards, but the same concept. Stamping, torn designer series paper, a sentiment in the middle. The difference was using ribbons, using a plain label sentiment, and cutting circles and doing it that way. So you can, the reason I wanted to do this video and show y'all 3 different cards done 3 different ways, they're simple cards. These are, I do try my best to do projects that are simple, some that are advanced, because we have stampers that are at all different phases of their crafting ability, and I want everybody to be able to craft. My mat is twisted a little bit, but I straightened it out. Alright, we got one more card. You think we can do this one really quick? Let's try it. Orchid Oasis, look at that. We got the tea bouquet paper, Orchid Oasis here. Love, love, love this. I got a strip here that we're going to use for, we're going to cut some little tiny strips off, and you'll see where I'm going. Here are the cards, my sample cards. Sending sunshine to brighten your day. Is that not cute? This one I did, and I stamped the background on this one. I just used different colors. I used Bermuda Bay, Melon Mambo, Gorgeous Grape, and I want to say Crushed Curry. Yeah, I think it was Crushed Curry. And this one I haven't put anything in it yet. And I made this one first, and then I went back and I made this one. I liked it with the designer series paper, so I thought, okay, let's try one a little bit different. And again, this is the tea bouquet paper, and I'm using that front piece right there. This paper is so beautiful. This was the one I used on the other card. That card, no it wasn't. That was a different one. I was thinking it was the same paper, but it wasn't. But this paper is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it. And even though this looks more like the Starry Sky, I think the Orchid Oasis is going to go well with it. So let's move these papers out of our way. And this comes in a bundle. We're not going to use the dies today. We're only going to be using the stamp set. But these dies are gorgeous. Look at, you have the word sending and you have the outline. Then you've got all of your flowers that you can cut. And you've got these 2 things for sentiments. You've got some little small flowers. Love my dies. Y'all know I love my dies. All right, I'm going to stick those over there. Oh, thank you, Karen. I know that's the reason I told y'all. You can make your own designer's paper. If you don't have it, if you've got some of the colors, you can stamp your own paper and make it absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and stamp my word sending. And you know what? I think I'm going to use Stamparatus for that. Jennifer, I did not put Stamparatus in there either because I wasn't thinking about using it, but I want my word to be nice and straight on there. So I'm pulling out my Stamparatus. If you do not have a Stamparatus, I'm going to do a video on I didn't know I needed to know that, with some tips and tricks using the Stamparatus, and you do not want to miss it. So I have got some plans in the workings for my, oh, be careful with your magnets. You do not want to get these magnets together. My magnets are actually broke. I got them taped together with washi tape because I got them too close together, and they were not taped or anything, and they clanked together and they broke in two. And I had just gotten my Stamparatus. Yes, I was a little on the sick side because I was like, oh no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that middle. No, that's not middle. Let's count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is the middle line. I'm going to kind of line that up on that middle line somewhat as straight as I think I can get it. I'm going to just close my door and pick that stamp up. Now it's going to try to bring the paper with it. That's okay. I pay attention when I put my paper down to make sure that I put it back in the same spot. You're going to want to put a stamp set up underneath this, because the stamp set works perfectly to give you the stability that you need. The Stamparatus has 2 of these that are removable. So if you're doing 2-step stamping or even 3-step stamping, you can do that by putting one plate here and the other plate here. We will definitely get to more of that in the video that I've got coming up. This is such a useful tool to have in so many ways. It can help with your die cutting as well, and I'm going to be covering that in the video. So you're wondering, how can a Stamparatus help with my die cutting? Well, you'll be surprised. And look, I just got ink all over everything. But let's hope that I didn't get it on my card. This sits up enough that it should keep it from getting excess ink on your card. Okay, I'm going to ink that again, but before I do, I am going to take an alcohol wipe, and I'm just going to get that excess ink off of this. Not my stamp, but just my mat, the plastic mat. And I'm going to ink this up again. I'm going to be very gentle. I'm just going to barely be touching it with the ink. I'm going to use my little tool. I have this little tool that's great for any type of stamp positioner. It just helps you put even pressure on it. Oh, so pretty. It looks like there was something fuzzy on my stamp because it picked up a little bit right there. But you know what? We're going to go with it. We are going to go with it. Now I am going to take my chamois and just clean that stamp a little bit. I'll go back and give everything a good cleaning with my Stampin' Scrub after the video. I like to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and move that over here. That was moving it over on the floor. All right, I want to cut a piece of paper that's going to go right up to the edge of that. So we are looking at, and I think on my instructions I said, what did I said? What did I said? I said 1 1/4. No, yeah, 1 1/4. So let's see if that's pretty spot on. Find my ruler. I'm at that point now where I've got so much stuff on my desk that I can't find anything. So I'm going to close this ink pad up for right now. And I'm going to measure from the bottom of that G. And it is right about 1 1/4. And from the top of the D, it is about 1 1/4. So we're going to go with that 1 1/4. We're going to need to cut 2 pieces that is 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. And you want to, again, you want to make sure that you're watching your orientation. You don't want to cut this way because you don't want your paper going in that direction. You want it going in this direction. So I'm going to turn my paper this way, and I'm going to cut it at 1 1/4. And then I'm going to cut from the bottom, I'm going to cut another 1 1/4. The reason I'm taking it off of the top and the bottom, I just want it to be nice and even and look like it's the top and the bottom of the paper. I don't really think it mattered now that I look at it. All right, let's bring this piece back over. Oh, we got to cut these down to 5 1/4. I almost forgot. Or wait a minute. Not 5 1/4. Yeah, 5 1/4. So I am going to cut off on this end. I'm just putting them both in there at the same time. I know that my trimmer can handle that. So now I'm going to take one and put right here and one right here. Isn't that lovely? That is so pretty. Just putting that word in the middle like that. You know, that one, it looks like I had like a little piece of a lint or fuzz or hair or something. I'm going to use this mono sand eraser. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry these, but I know most of you crafters have one of these. And what it does, it sands the paper. And sometimes you can get that off just by sanding that down. And sometimes you can't. If nothing else, I can fade it a little bit. It's in a tight space, so I don't want to go in and take the color off of my end. So I'm being very careful. That's why it's so important when you clean your stamps to make sure you're not cleaning them with anything that has lint on them. And I must have gotten lint on mine at some point. Okay, how do we say we're going to do this? Like this and this. Now you could pop these up if you wanted to, but I'm not. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut this piece down to 5 1/4. Hey Margie, you got back from your appointment. Margie was late coming in because she had a doctor's appointment. She actually texted me or posted under my, announcement and said that she was going to be late. But I'm glad, or that she wasn't going to make it. But I'm glad you made it. You'll have to go back and watch the entire video. So glad to see you. What I'm doing, I cut this down to 5 1/4, and now I'm cutting a 1/4 inch piece off of this, and you're going to need 2 of those. So there's one, and again 1/4 of an inch, and cut that off. And we're going to frame that paper, and that will add so much detail to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 pieces, and I am going to do this using some liquid glue, but I have glue in one of these little fine tip bottles, and I'm going to use that because I want to be able to precisely, in fact I might even do it, let's do it this way. Let's put the glue on our designer series paper, and it's not wanting to play. Do I have a clump in there or something? Maybe I do. I might have left this open yesterday when I was playing and designing and doing stuff in here, getting things ready for my live. You know, this don't just happen. It takes a little bit of work. That's not coming out, so all right. I'll have to clean that hole out. So we're gonna go with this and hope and pray we don't get too much of it on here. What I'm gonna do is just kind of rub what comes out in one spot to the other spot, and then I'm going to turn this over. Usually with paper like this, you can feel you have a right side and a wrong side where your edges are rolled. That feels like the right side. So I'm just going to lay that down in that glue. I like using the glue because it gives me just a tiny bit of, gives me a little bit of a wiggle room. And y'all can see I needed that wiggle room right there. There. Now that's going to go up here to the top like that. And now this is going to go across the top part of this one. And it, you know, a lot of times it's the little details that we put in our card making that makes the biggest emphasis. And I don't know about y'all, but creating is like my happy place, when I can come in here and just start putting stuff together and kind of figuring it out. That's what I enjoy. And that's going to go on there like that. What do y'all think so far? Isn't that pretty? I wasn't sure about the larger print, but I like it. I really do like it. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to use Stampin' Seal on this. I do see I've got a little bit of a hangover right there, so before I glue that down, I'm going to trim that. I'm going to check this one and make sure I don't have any hangover on that. Just a tiniest little bit right there. Just clean those up if you see that it's hanging a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on here, and I think I'm going to go crossways. And I'm going to bring that all the way down to the bottom of my card, making sure I'm getting it nice and straight, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. And this is going to go right up to the top edge, just like that. Press it down. Then we have our card base. And we have our little piece to put inside. So before we put this on, look how pretty that's going to be. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? I am totally in love with that Orchid Oasis. I think it is stunning, stunning paper. So I want to mimic what I did with my flower. I thought that was so pretty. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do this one, and I'm going to look at my stamp set. I love the stamp set because look at these sentiments. You've got sending, smiles across the way, sending all the good luck your way, sending sunshine to brighten your day, sending big and love and big hugs, sending birthday wishes, sending a note of thanks, sending a card to say hello, sending comfort and strength. And then you've got these flowers. They are beautiful. So we are going to do this little flower and this little stem. And what do I want to send with this one? How about a note of thanks? And that way I won't have to do the sunshine. The sunshine I actually pulled from the Paradise Palm stamp set when I made my sample. The little sunshine came from Paradise Palms. So, and I love to do that. I love to pull different stamp sets from different sets and kind of pull everything together. I am going to grab a green, and I'm going to grab the garden green. Let's do our flower in our Orchid Oasis. And grab a stamp. I got stamps everywhere, y'all. It's everywhere. That's okay. We'll clean all this up after the live. So looking at my card, I want to kind of judge my distance. I think I ended up stamping this one twice before I got it like I wanted it. So I'm going to go in this direction and stamp that down. Very pretty. And I'm going to grab this little stamp set. I'm trying to put my stamps up here on my computer so that I can keep up with all of them. Let's go ahead and close that up. Let me grab a stamp block for my leaves and my stem. And stamp. I need that little piece of paper again, because this is definitely going to stamp off. So I'm going to put that stem like right about there. Very good. Now we need our little yellow middle for our flower. I'm just going to grab Daffodil Delight. And do a little yellow middle for our flower. Isn't that pretty? That looks so summery. Now we're going to grab one more thing. We're going to go ahead and let's close this ink pad up and open up our Orchid Oasis again, and we're going to get our sentiment out of here, and we're going to say, what did I say we were going to say? A note of thanks. Let's do a note of thanks. Strength and comfort. Where's a note of thanks? A note of thanks. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to read them when they're backwards. Do y'all ever go through that? If your stamps look backwards on there, they're hard to find. At least they are for me. I'm going to use this little block to pick that up. And I always have more trouble getting sentiments straight the smaller they are. So I'm going to put this right over closer to the flower. Just like that. And then we are ready to put our card together. And this is going to be really easy to do. Let's go ahead and put our front on first. I'm going to move all that stuff out of our way. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal because it's quick. And then we are going to put this right about here. Just like that. And then we are going to turn this over and do the same thing. Little bits. You don't need a lot of Stampin' Seal because this is a very, very strong adhesive. The Plus. I love the Plus. The regular Stampin' Seal I'm not so much of a fan of, but the Plus is my go-to. So there is that card. So let's pull all of our cards back over. There's our sample and our sample. And then we have this one and this one. And then we have this one and this one. You know what? I want to go back. I want to put some gems on these. I think these need some gems. So let me look. And I'm going to pull these beautiful glossy dot assortment. And I'm going to put Alright, I'm going to zoom out in just a minute so y'all can see everything, but let me get some dots on here first. Are y'all seeing where I'm putting the little embellishments? And then once I get all of these done, then we will zoom out and hopefully everybody will be able to see just how gorgeous all these cards turned out. I'm not going to embellish some of these. I'm just going to do the ones we made today. So the other ones, I'm actually just going to show the ones that we made today. How about that? So this one, I need some different dots on it. This one's already embellished. This one right here, I think I'm going to do pearls. So let me grab my... Let's grab our Pearl Basic Jewels. And Jennifer, make sure you make a notation for me to put all of these things that I'm using that I didn't think of. Okay, Jennifer is letting me know that she is on top of it. She's already put the numbers in for me. Everybody give Jennifer a hand clap of thanks and adoration for moderating for me and doing such an awesome job. What would I do without my girl? I don't even want to know. So there are our three. Beautiful. Do y'all think they're as beautiful as I do? And do you have a favorite? Can y'all see those now? Let's move them over this way, and I think you might be able to get them all in there. Zoom out just a hair. There we go. Does anybody have a favorite? I think they're all gorgeous. You know, I wasn't loving this one until I grabbed that ribbon. Once I put that ribbon on this one, it just really brought it to life for me. But I love this one too. I like the larger print on it. I wasn't sure if that was going to really, you know, be a standout for me because I had used something that was much more muted on this one. But I really do like that. And then, of course, like I said, this one, I liked the stamping I did, but I really liked I love the way that turned out. And then, of course, I messed up my little butterfly card, and I'm going to have to go back and see what I can do to fix that. Who knows? Maybe I can take it apart, put another piece of paper over it, and fix it. But I like both of these. I love that You're My Bestie, but I cut way too big of a piece of the butterfly paper, but I really wanted to showcase that butterfly paper. So those were our cards for today. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and let's do some prize drawings. So first of all three of these cards are going to be up for grabs. So I will give away all three of these, and we'll do one person will win each one of these these three cards. So we'll have three winners for here, and we are going to have our main winner that's going to win this paper and the ribbon. So let's do that one first, and then we'll pull the cards in. I'm going to let Jennifer let me pull y'all back over so you can kind of see my mug for a few minutes. I'm going to let her give me the names. Let me get this set up on my random name picker. And we're going to call this one 511. That's always a good thing to do, right? The date of the live, 22. And then I'm ready for the names. Now let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing. If you do, say yes. Just put a yes or a no. And then that way she will know whether to add your name or not. Yes, Marcia, they do. All three of my moderators are wonderful. And anybody that's on here that would like to moderate for me, because I know Jennifer is in school. She can't always be here. Right now, her schedule for this next term, she's good, but she don't know what it's going to be coming up. Well, she's not sure when her next one will start up, but we know she's pretty good right now. Yeah, let us know if you want to be in the drawing. Okay, I saw that Susan did, so the names that I'm seeing, I'm going to go ahead and put in. Okay. Okay, Jennifer's going to give me the whole list. She just let me know. I am ready. So Jennifer's going to call them. All right, so Randy. Jennifer. Oh, wait a minute. I hit the wrong key and misspelled Jennifer's name, and we all know that I know how to spell Jennifer. All right, who? Okay, Marlene. Is this Vivian M? Okay. Carmina. Tina, Margie Miller. I got Susan already in. Karen C. and Margie Ryan. All right, so 10 names. Do you have 10 names? All right. Okay, all right. Jennifer's letting me know who opted in and who opted out. So we've got 10 names, and we have 4 prizes, 3 cards and this. So should I do the cards first and save this for last, or y'all want to do this one first? I like to do this one first since it's the grand prize. I think it's better to do that one first and then let the other ones. That way we know everybody's got a chance to win this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick our name. So I'm going to bring y'all back over to my desk so you can see. Here's my names, and they're listed alphabetically by first name. So I'm going to choose our winner for the paper and the ribbon, and here we go. Carmina, congratulations. This is coming to you. I'll try my best to get this in the mail today. So there's your prize. So now Carmina's been taken out, and let's go ahead and do the butterfly kisses card. So our winner for that is Randy Esposito. Congratulations. I am going to put names on these because I'll forget who. Are you writing this down, Jen? Put butterfly card Randy. That way I don't have to stop and do that. All right. Our sending card, and we're going to choose a winner for it. Susan B. You win this card. And I'm going to put an inside in this one. I'll just lay it in, Randy, so that you will have a card base for the inside. And this one is for Susan B. And then the Thinking of You card. One more winner. Here we go. Jennifer Reel. You win this beautiful card. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put a piece of white cardstock inside here for you to write a note or a greeting or whatever. So there are our 4 lucky winners. Congratulations, everybody. Oh my goodness. I've had so much fun in today's live. It has been, you know, I thought I had bitten off more than I could chew with all of these, with all of the cards I had chosen to make, but I really had fun. And I think the reason it was so much fun, I did prepare yesterday for all of this. Plus, like I said, anybody that did not see this card, you came in late, this card right here is coming to y'all soon. And this card actually folds down like this. When you open it, it opens up. You have a place here that has a sentiment, a place to sign it, and then it acts as an easel card like this. So this is going to be coming very soon to a YouTube channel near you. Actually, it will be coming from me. So tune in. If you have not subscribed to my channel, and I think everybody that's here today has subscribed, y'all are definitely my tried and true. And I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Let's bring our well, y'all are looking at me now, so we don't need to see the cards. The winners are going to get those cards. I'll get those in the mail today as well. I'll clean my desk off and get these mailings ready to go out and get those in the mail. And I am so happy for all of my winners and for everybody that tuned in. Oh, thank you, Susan. I am so looking forward to making that card and showing y'all how to make it. It looks so complicated, but it's not. And I told everybody earlier, I've got a whole different spin on the one that I'm going to make. I'm going to use, I think, the Hues of Happiness paper, which is gorgeous. So, thank y'all so much. Did y'all see my t-shirt? Stamping Up North Carolina Demos, where creativity, what does it say? Flows. And it has my beautiful state of North Carolina on my t-shirt. Yeah, I bought this from a girl on Etsy that made our Creative 8 shirts, and she does so many wonderful things. I got a little bow maker from her, but I find I do my bows on my fingers so often. If y'all have not seen that, I did one the other day, one of my little finger bows, and this is a double loop finger bow. They're so much fun. So I have a video showing how to do those, and all you need is ribbon and your fingers. One hand. your left hand or your right hand, depending on whether you're right or left-handed. Oh, I love you too, Margie. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all, and as I always say in closing, and I always will, let everything that you say and do bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. And until we craft again, make sure y'all watch out for the update, and make sure that y'all get your stuff ready, because I want y'all to craft with me next week. It's going to be mystery stamping, and we are going to have so much fun. I'm going to be giving y'all the clues as we go. The first set of clues will be getting all of your stuff ready. You choose whatever stamp set, whatever paper, whatever cardstock, whatever punches, dies, whatever you want to use. And we are going to do this together, and I think we're going to have a blast. So join me again next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And until then, God bless and keep you. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye-bye.